Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. This is your future fairy potato, just another potato, and welcome to another video of Enigmatica 9 Expert. In last episode, we finished with one of the most important goals that we had for the next few episodes, that is liquidify source, having a better way of storing and distributing and generating liquidify source. As you can see right now, it is at 7 million millibuckets, so around 7,000 buckets. This is a lot of source. I think it's going to be more than what we are going to be using. Mixers are working. I think it's going to be the last batch for now. I don't think I'll be using much more of it. This 7 million will be much more than enough for a lot of time. So yes, I think that's going to be enough. Until now we have finished 2 of our 5 objectives. So we are done with component production, and we are done with source logistics, but we are left with applied energistic network, other minor improvements, and ore processing. And we are going to start with ore processing today. Now we are going to start because we are not going to finish it this episode. As I told you last episode, there are 2 ways of proceeding with ore processing. We can either directly blast the output of the crushed ore into a clump, and then from here just crush it again to get the dirty dust, or we can use liquid sulfuric acid in order to duplicate the amount of output that we receive, and also get 1 extra output from the crushed ore, and this one is directly blasted into the final ingot. I told you I was debating if to use the sulfuric acid part or not, and I opted to go for the sulfuric acid. So what we're going to do in this episode is focusing on generating sulfuric acid. I don't think it's going to be really that hard. A lot of the stuff is already done, so we only have to actually make the small implementations. And I already have here a small space on how I want to proceed with. So sulfuric acid. In order to make sulfuric acid, we will need 3 new machines. We will need a chemical oxidizer, a chemical infuser, and a rotary concentrator. Let's start from the beginning. So in order to make sulfuric acid, we need to concentrate regular sulfuric acid. For this we need to infuse sulfur trioxide and water vapor. Sulfur trioxide is done through infusing sulfur dioxide and oxygen. And these 3 items, the water vapor, sulfur dioxide and oxygen, is provided through the chemical oxidizer. This is the line that we're going to use. It seems easy. It is quite easy. But before doing this, we have to prepare a bit, because most of these of the machines, they require basic chemical tanks, and for this we need osmium. But the first thing I want to do is get in the sulfur. Now there is a problem, and it's that sulfur is only gotten through crushing blaze rods. Unfortunately, we cannot access the nether yet, and spawning places through rituals won't drop blaze rods. There is the option to spawn blaze through the spirit mod, but it is an endgame method. Thus, I had to go and look for spawners and break them to spawn mob gates. So here I made a second level to this thing here. So we have this small zone here, an extension, and here is where I'm planning to put all of our sulfur things. We can set this budding sulfur here. We can put 2 amethyst golems. Set them as this one as its home. We only have to wait for this to grow up while that's growing, maybe we can start to set up our energy system. We can put one modular router, one fluid module taken from this tank, and a second fluid module which will transfer to this tank. We want our energy upgrades. We want our pulsating crystal, our source jar, and our fluid source link. And now that this is working. Okay, nice. The next thing we can set up is our redstone acid for the osmium. And maybe we can start here doing osmium. We can put it into our energy grid. This has energy now, and now we can just fill this one up with some redstone acid. And there's the redstone acid filling up. Now we are left to do is just to throw our rich slag here. And we get our osmium. Now before infusing it, let's do an enrichment chamber and some basic tier installers. Let's put this new machine here maybe. And what we can do is give all of our machines some basic tier installers. And now what we can do, we can of course just put one water essence into our basic infusion factory, and this will get us 10 millibuckets of water essence. But what we can also do is enrich this one into an enriched water essence, and this one will give us 80 millibuckets. So it is much more better if we do this. It is pretty much slow, but it is worth it. It is very much worth it. And now this water essence with some osmium. We get our first pieces of dirty osmium. This is so expensive. Believe it or not, osmium is a very, very expensive material. Do we need this much osmium and this much materials? No, not really. We can do all of this with just one chemical oxidizer, one chemical infuser, and one rotary concentrator. But I want to have one for each thing that I am producing. That's why we need so much osmium. And with this we can do our 3 chemical oxidizers. Okay. We have our 2 chemical infusers and our rotary concentrator. Now, let's replace all the machines. We have our chemical oxidizers, a second chemical oxidizer, and a third chemical oxidizer. We want one infuser here, another infuser here, and then a concentrator here. The setup was quite simple, but as it was my first time actually using the mod, I did get a bit confused on the input, outputs, and the sides of the machine. However, one problem I had was moving liquids or gases to another machine not directly next to each other. Neither immersive engineering nor creates pipes worked, so I tried modular routers. Okay, so I suppose this is going to work. I hope so. If this works, then I'll raise this one level so it looks nice. Ooh, we don't have any sulfur yet, so I'll use this one piece of sulfur to start all of the process. I think I don't have any other choice. So let's start with some mechanism. Let's go first for the sulfur trioxide. For this we need oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Let's put oxygen. Nice, oxygen. So we want to sulfur dust. We get the sulfur dioxide and we get sulfur trioxide. Modular router didn't work either. Let's see, does this output to create tank? It doesn't. Okay, but this should output to pneumatic craft tanks. Maybe I can use two transposers. I can't. Or of course, maybe I'm doing something wrong. There is also that possibility. There was one last hope though. So let's see if I'm going to be honest. I really don't know anything about this mod of the entangled blocks, but I suppose it works like a kind of entangler. I mean, I can do something like this. There is it. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to turn crazy. Thank God this thing exists. I just remember like what I was thinking. I remember something like entangled. There was something of entangling here in this mod pack. And it did. This works. Okay. Oh my head. Now that we have sulfur trioxide here on this other chemical oxidizer, we can input water essence. And we should get sulfuric acid. That is also getting inputted here into liquid sulfuric acid. So we really don't need this. And we can actually take advantage of these entangled blocks to kind of arrange a small test. Yeah, let's test this. So maybe we can do something like this. We can put an entanglet here, and what we can do is take this block, entanglet here. No, not here. No. It's in here, in the other one. Here. And we can output the fluids on the back. And here's our liquid sulfuric acid. This is just a test. So let's grab some copper. Let's do it very quick. Copper, we have to crush it first. We get crushed copper ore and crushed nickel. Nickel has to be blasted, but crushed copper ore, we can throw it in here in the bottling machine. And of course we have to connect it. And we get double the amount of dirty product. Yes, this is so nice. This is so nice. So this took a bit of time. I really didn't expect first to take that much time to get sulfur, and second, that much time to figure out how to transfer the gases and liquids. But of course, now that I know that entangled blocks are a thing in this mod pack, yeah, I can actually work out a bit more stuff for our ore processing stuff. And this is again slowly growing up. But yeah, I suppose that by the time we finished, I finished preparing all of the things that we're going to need for ore processing, and by the time that we actually finish setting up ore processing, I feel it's going to be growth, and we should have a bit more of sulfur there. But anyway, sulfur is done. We have sulfuric acid, and this is going to be a key piece for our ore processing setup. The next episode will be all about ore processing itself. And again, if you're still here, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a better day, because it can always be better. And I'll see you next time. Bye.